Hello and welcome to another edition of Will's Grill Shack. You are in for a right treat today. We're doing an 8.8 kilo Spanish brisket and we're going to see how low and slow we can actually do it. Don't forget guys, if you are new here, I have got an Instagram page where I post daily content. It should just be here, so head on over there, check it out, and I'll see you there. So we have got an 8.8 kilo Spanish brisket from John Davidson's. It's an absolute monster of a brisket. Now the whole idea of this video is to see how low we can actually go on the Broil King and how good a bark we can get. And we're going to see whether low and slow, and I mean really low and slow, is the way forward, or the traditional sort of hotter and faster way that I do briskets. Is that better? So the plan is to run at about 84 degrees, which is as low as the Broil King can go. And we're going to start the cook at 10 o'clock at night. So we're going to run all the way through the night at 84 degrees. And then we're going to come down in the morning and then we're going to start spritzing. And I think we're probably going to be wrapping after about the 12-hour mark and then push through to probably 6, 7 o'clock in the evening the following day, and it should be ready then. So let's head on over to the bench where we're going to have a look at the brisket, going to trim it up, and I'll show you what seasoning we're going to use. And if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button to see more Broil King content just like this. Okay, so this is our 8.75 kilo brisket that we've got. It's a Regal one from John Davidson's. It's really nice. Got some nice fat on it that we're going to trim off. I think you're probably going to trim off about 500-600 grams worth. There's not a great deal, just cut this in here. So yeah, let's do that now. Okay, so there it is, all trimmed up. Bit of a funny shaped brisket this, not what I'm really used to. It's almost like we've got two flats and a point here at the back, so two flats and a point here, but trimmed it how I think it should be. We're going to be seasoning it with this here, which is Dirty Cow. So let's go ahead and put that on. So we're just going to get a nice coat of this all the way over. There we go, both sides covered nicely in the Dirty Cow. We're just going to leave that now for a couple of hours to sit and really soak in. What a funny shaped brisket that is. You know, I cook quite a few briskets on this channel, as I'm sure you've seen in my previous videos, and normally they're sort of that long torpedo shape, whereas this is almost like it's like a round sort of semicircular shape, really bizarre. So I'm going to be interested to see how this cooks. So let's get the Broil King pellet grill now set up. It's really important that you leave that brisket on the side for a good 2-3 hours to really let that rub soak in. Okay, it's now at temperature, so let's get this massive brisket. I'm going to put it onto the grill. As you can see, we've also added a water pan. We've literally just got water in here. Normally I run these briskets on the right side of the grill where it's a little bit hotter, but I've decided today I'm going to run it on the left side of the grill where it's not so hot. So I've set up my Thermapen smoke. As you can see here, this is monitoring the cook today. It's got a little receiver, so I can have that by my bed if anything were to happen overnight, which I know it won't because the Broil King isn't so reliable, but it will show an alarm and hopefully wake me up and won't ruin the cook. So it's nice to have that peace of mind and have that little receiver. So we set that up, ready to go. We're also using mesquite pellets today. As you can see, I've filled up the popper, not to the top. I want to see how long this lasts, but the mesquite is seriously deep smoke, so similar to sort of the offset smoke smokers that I've been doing recently. Right, that's it all on. I'm going to go to bed now and I'll see you in the morning, and let's have a look where we're at. Hopefully we're going to have a nice bark, but I'll see you in the morning. Okay, it's morning. It's looking good. Not as far forward as what I thought. We are now, it's 7 o'clock here, so we're about what, nine-ish hours on, and it's not as dark as what I thought it would be, and it's not as far forward. I mean, we're only reading sort of 50-ish degrees, so it's still got a fair old way to go yet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start spraying with the 50-50 mix of apple vinegar cider and water. We're going to do that every 30 minutes. 30 minutes on, and we're starting to look a little bit better. Bark's really starting to form from the spraying. So we're just going to continue doing that. The temperature has increased a little bit, but it's looking good so far. Okay, I think we're approaching the stall. It feels like the cook is slowing down a little bit, so we're going to give it one last little spray, and probably another little 10 minutes or so, and then we're good to go. Right, it's now ready to wrap. So as you can see, looking good, happy with how the bark is, looking nice and deep, which is what we're looking for. So it's on the bench here. What we're going to do is wrap it as tight as possible, as you can see here, and we're just going to wrap that up in double butcher's paper. Quite often I run single, but this time I'm going to run double, and we're just going to wrap that up. As you can see, looks great, just as a parcel, as tight as possible. And now let's move that back onto the grill. We're going to put our Thermapen smoke probes back into the brisket to monitor the temperature, and now we're just going to leave that, and we're going to go all the way through to 95 degrees, and hopefully it should be probing really, really nice. Wow, this is a stall. We wrapped it at about, I think it was about 11 o'clock in the morning. So we were on course for the 12-13 hours, which is what I said. It's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can see what temperature it's reading. We've still got a long way to go, I think. I think this is going to be a seriously long cook. I've never had one that's gone on for this long. As I'm sure you've seen in my other previous videos, they always seem to cook a lot quicker, but this time it's definitely slow. So I'm just going to turn up the temperature ever so slightly to 130 degrees. So actually it's quite a lot, it's not ever so slightly at all. 130 degrees to try and just move this on. I have got work tomorrow, a little bit concerned that this could go on till 2 o'clock and could be a 26-hour cook. Okay, we got there. 21 hours on the grill, and I'm still on the same pellets that I put in when you first saw at the beginning of the video. Broil King, that is impressive. Really happy with that. I didn't think I'd get that many hours out of it without being a full hopper. I know I said in my previous video, which I'll link up here for the cleaning tips, I said how long I got out some apple pellets, which I think was 26 hours, but that was a full hopper. I think this could go on for 30-32 hours quite comfortably on a full hopper. So it's probing 95, we're good to go. Let's get it off. We're going to pop it into the Yeti. We're going to wrap it in some towels, as you can see here, and then put it into the Yeti, which is preloaded, nice and warm in there for it. And we're going to rest it for 3 hours. I find 3 hours is the optimal rest. Last time you watched me do a brisket, I did 6 hours, and I personally felt that was too long. We're going to do 3 hours today. So join me again in 3 hours, and hopefully we're going to have a really nice brisket and we haven't wasted our time. Okay, it's all rested up. I'm so excited to slice this up. I've got my new slicing knife from Beard & Forge that they've actually customised this huge knife for me, so I'm really looking forward to trying this out on the first cook. So let's head on over to the bench, let's have a look at it, and let's hope it's a good brisket. Okay, so here it is. Bark absolutely on point. You can see this, it's got a nice jiggle to it, as you can see there. Really happy with this bark. Hopefully you can see that. Really nice crust on the outside is what we're looking for. Let's slice it up, see what we've done. Okay, so just going to take a slice straight down the middle of the two. Just move it a little bit closer for you. Cool. Lovely. Okay, so here's one section. Just pick that up, show you. Look at that. That fat has rendered down so well on that. Really good. And here's the other end. Again, really nice how that's rendered down. Let's slice the rest of it. Cool. Now that looked good, I'll tell you. The bark on that, absolutely amazing. I haven't had anything like that in a good time. It reminds me of the offset brisket that I did. So let's take a look and do a taste test on it. So you can see there, got one little bit there. So let's do the little hang test. You can see that, hangs over absolutely lovely. Let's just do a little pull test. Just literally comes apart. Really, really good. And now let's just go in for a little taste. Oh, you can really taste the mesquite pellets on that. That deep oak. It actually tastes as good as the offset brisket that I did. Really good, really nice. Wow, I really enjoyed that. Absolutely amazing brisket. Can't believe how long it took. Obviously the whole idea of this was to go really, really low and slow, and I definitely did that. And 24 hours later, we're just eating. So let's just summarise on what we've done today. We had a lovely 8.75 kilo Spanish brisket from John Davidson's Butchers. Now it did confuse me a little bit, and I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out because I've never seen a brisket sort of that shape before, but John was true to his word and it did come out really good. So anyway, we seasoned that with this here, which is Angus and Oink Deity Cow. We then left that for a couple of hours on the side. We fired up the Broil King pellet grill. We set it as low as we can go, which I think is 84 degrees on that. As literally as low as you can go. It was 10 o'clock at night, so it was just about to start going to bed. Put it on and just left it all night low and slow on the mesquite pellets. Came down in the morning, checked the Thermapen smoke, and you could see that we were only at 56 and I think it was 62, 63 degrees. So it's still had a long way to go until we hit the stool. Started spraying with the 50-50 mix of apple vinegar, cider and water, then powered on to where the stool was, which I think I ended up wrapping at about 72, 75 degrees-ish, thereabouts. Pulled it off, double wrapped it in butcher's paper, put it back in, put the Thermapen smoke probes back into it, and we went all the way through to 95 degrees internal temperature. So I did go up to 138 degrees in the end, purely because I think I would have been here until about 2 o'clock in the morning, 28 hours later on. So I thought it'd be easier just to turn the temperature up. We motored on through to that 95 degrees. As I say, the alarm on the Thermapen smoke was going off, telling me that it was 95 degrees. So I was sat inside when the alarm was going off. Really handy little tool for that. You can find the link to that in the description, along with the other products that I've used. We then let it rest in the Yeti cooler for 3 hours. Perfect time for this rest. I didn't do clean film, didn't do sim foil or anything like that. I literally just wrapped it in towels. We then put it into the Yeti, as I say, for 3 hours, got it out, sliced it up using my new brisket slicing knife, which is an absolute monster, more like a sword. Sliced through it like absolute butter. And just the taste was phenomenal. I mean, really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It really tasted as good as that Hammer Forge offset brisket. I actually think it tasted better. Had a little bit more to it, I think. A little bit more of a bite. The Hammer Forge one was a little bit pull-aparty, too much for me. This still had a nice bite to it. But in the same breath, it just melted in your mouth. And now I've had about 10 slices of brisket. I'm feeling massive, but I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this video. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Leave me a little comment. What did you think of this long brisket? Did you think it was a good way to do it, or would you go back to the way that I normally do brisket, which is 130, 140 degrees, a little bit hotter? As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Will's Grill Shack.